To paraphrase one of my favorite sports YouTubers on this platform, congratulations YouTube, you have still yet to grow yourself a set of balls. It's been over a week YouTube, and you actually did something for once in your life. You actually performed an act that in your eyes was deemed heroic. An act of justice, if you will. You actually solved a problem. Or at least that's what you think you did. What you instead did was effectively smack our target on the wrist and proceeded to say F you to the victim while he was on the ground, dying in a pool of his own blood. Honestly, the most surprising thing about this entire development was the fact that YouTube actually did something. Because this isn't the first time YouTube proceeded to clean a massive pile of shit by bursting a sewage pipe onto the problem. Just take a look at last year. Remember the whole Actman kerfuffle? And how because of that scuffle, we learned about a television reviewer that should have stuck to his job as a television reviewer. Instead, he was revealed to be a massive man-child as a result of a terrible review of a game that he played and disliked. A game that would end up winning Game of the Year. You know how this gets worse? He ends up being revealed to be a massive prick. And I know that's a massive undersell of one Quantum TV. And that's because it is, because I don't want to waste time listing all the stuff this man did. So instead, here's a mugshot of him from this year. That is all that needs to be said. But do you know how this spirals even further? YouTube then proceeded to do precisely nothing to mend this issue besides maybe a tiny smack on the behind to Actman himself. Not to mention the fact that during that period, YouTube was also effectively silencing channels either supporting Actman or mentioning the Actman saga altogether. As of me recording this, Quantum is still on the platform. He's still making videos, he's still a massive man-child who likes to pull the occasional temper tantrum and use that as content, and he is still being exposed for being a massive prick. All because YouTube fell asleep on the job, and then proceeded to go apeshit when they got fired for said offense. But now back to this drama. When you have a loudmouthed Irishman that also happens to be one of the nicest and most genuine people on this platform effectively saying to the world that you fucked up, you fucked up. When you have someone suffering from Biel's syndrome questioning his own disability because of your incompetence, you fucked up. And when your statement to the world is universally agreed upon to be absolutely disgraceful, you really fucked up. I don't know what's worse, the fact that it's a temporary demonetization, the fact that YouTube essentially applied partial blame to Jack's film himself, or the fact that I am absolutely not surprised in the slightest by YouTube's excuse of a punishment. With this post, YouTube has essentially acknowledged that they dislike creators calling out other creators for their bullshit content, or at least in a manner akin to what Jack's films did. But as a massive pessimist, this isn't an acknowledgement, it's a confirmation. Yes, Jack's films literally copied SSNIPERwolf in every facet imaginable for the purposes of parodying her channel, bashing and criticizing her content, and warning other people to not steal content, whilst also advising people to be careful of those who do steal content. And yes, we know that he did so on such a scale that one could argue that this could be deemed as harassment. And you know what, goddammit, it looks like YouTube would like to agree with you. Because despite the fact that none of his videos was harassing SSNIPERwolf in any sort of way, there is one major flaw in this scheme. YouTube themselves, for being completely brain dead. And considering that this tweet courtesy of the real Sully G exists, it's only a matter of time before YouTube begins to silence people mentioning this drama just like they did with the Actman saga. And I honestly would not be surprised if they did. By all means YouTube, if you somehow find this video and deem it to be offensive in any sort of way, go ahead and send my ass to the slaughterhouse. You're effectively killing a messenger. And by messenger, I mean someone who is wasting their time talking about how you're incompetent. At this point into this event, it doesn't matter what happens next. I don't care if SSNIPERwolf gets miraculously terminated, and I don't care if she gets miraculously put into bracelets. We've lost. To quote Vince McMahon, life sucks, and then we die. Just like this drama will in a month's time. We care too much about a situation that YouTube themselves seems to be completely nonchalant about. And the fact that I used the word miraculously to describe the courses of action I mentioned that should have happened is appalling. Because those two courses of action shouldn't be miracles that we wish to happen. Those two things should have been done the moment this was made public. Either or, it doesn't matter, this should have been done. For me at least, the most mind-boggling thing about this entire drama, besides the doxing and invasion of privacy, besides the threat of a man and his wife's safety, besides the planting of seeds for a much more heinous crime to occur, should that horrifically happen, God forbid, and besides the completely daft decision-making done by YouTube, is how stupidly avoidable this all could have been. It first could have been avoided if she actually had some semblance of originality, but considering how her name comes straight from Metal Gear Solid, with the only addition being 2 extra S's, means that I highly doubt that would be the case. Still, there are 26 letters in the English alphabet, and 2 of them perfectly describe the simple course of action that Sniperwolf should have used. D, M. Okay, maybe we should add in a 3rd letter, let's add in the S in there, but you get my point. A simple private message to Jax Films, a simple time and date to conversate, and none of this would have occurred. I'm about to mention stuff that I rambled in my previous video, but goddammit, I'm gonna say it again. Do you know what the sagas between Moist Critical and Sneeko, Moist Critical and Dark Viper AU, and XQC and H3H3 have in common? An organized conversation, with 2 of these convos effectively putting a ceasefire to the drama. And yes, I am saying right now to you that the XQC H3 debate was somewhat civil, because it at least didn't involve one of the 2 parties to show up to the other person's property and publicly show to the world that they have just committed doxing and invasion of privacy. Unfortunately, Sniperwolf doesn't have the brain cells to actually act as a functional human being, and doesn't seem to know what the word accountability is. But then again, we already know this. Well, everyone except for my dumbass for spewing out horrific misinformation. In my previous video, I made a comment that should have led to me getting more shat on than I already was. I actually complimented her on her COD skills. That she didn't have. That is misinformation and a miscompliment so grandiose I should probably be in bracelets myself. Or burned at the stake. Or both. In any event, I should have been punished for committing such heinous perjury, and I do apologize. Still, could be worse. Just take a look at some of her past behavior. Being incredibly unserious with her criminal history, completely abandoning the terminally ill, not to mention all the suspicious stuff that she has done with minors. This, along with a plethora of other shit, says a lot about her. Much like how this long-ass apology says a lot about her. And you know what? I think I finally figured out what the S's stand for in her name. Spineless and soulless. Fuck your apology. And to quote Jimmy McNulty from The Wire, fuck the bosses. Because at the end of the day, the fact that both her and other people who have caused equal amounts of shit are still on this platform, plus the fact that YouTube will gladly allow someone to commit such crimes and get away scot-free means that we have effectively learned nothing. But thank you for watching.
Hey guys, what's up? Today instead of a chem strike, I'm bringing you some beast clips because it's different and, well, I have some bad news I'd like to talk to you guys about. Well, it's kind of two-sided, it's good and bad. So this is probably going to be my last commentary and possibly last video. I just don't have time for YouTube anymore, and I'll tell you guys why in a sec. And I'll probably just keep my channel, but I'm literally done making videos. I've just had enough with everything, the haters, the pervs. This is your fault.